Today, we're diving into a really powerful shift in how we think about parenting. It's all based on the fantastic work of Dr. Leah Waters, and it's about moving away from that constant feeling of needing to fix our kids and instead learning how to build on the amazing things that are already there inside them. Okay, let's be honest with ourselves for a second. Your kid hands you their report card. Where do your eyes go first? For most of us, it's a laser beam straight to that C in math. Our brain just snaps to the problem that needs fixing. It feels totally natural, but there's a hidden cost to it. It's not really our fault. Our brains are actually hardwired with something called a negativity bias. It's this ancient survival tool, right? It kept our ancestors from being eaten by tigers by making them super aware of threats. The only problem is that same wiring turns us into expert problem spotters in our own homes. We zoom in on the bad grade, the messy room, or the sassy backtalk, and we can completely miss the A, the small act of kindness, or all the effort they put in. So what's the big deal? What actually happens when we get stuck in that problem spotting mode all the time? Well, this is what Dr. Waters calls the weakness trap. I love this way of thinking about it. Picture your child as this lump of clay. Parts of it are already beautifully sculpted. Those are their natural strengths and talents. And of course, other parts have some holes or gaps. Those are their weaknesses. The weakness trap is when we spend all our time and energy trying to patch up the holes while those beautiful, strong parts of the sculpture just get ignored and start gathering dust. And the cost of doing that is huge. Forcing a kid to focus only on something they really struggle with, well, it's like telling a right-handed person they have to write a beautiful, flowing novel with their left hand. Yeah, they might make a little progress, but the whole process is just messy, exhausting, and incredibly frustrating for everyone. Which brings us to the big question, right? If constantly hammering away at weaknesses is a losing battle, what are we supposed to do instead? It's not about just ignoring challenges, but it is about shifting our entire focus. And the alternative is all about making a conscious shift in where we put our attention. It's about training ourselves to see our kids not as a bundle of problems to be solved, but as a collection of strengths just waiting to be activated. So the big picture philosophy here is called strength-based parenting. It's all about deciding to be a strength detector first and a weakness fixer second. You're actively looking for and nurturing what's right with your kids. And the practical tool that lets you do this is called the strength switch. The strength switch is that mental tool you pull out right in the heat of the moment. It's that critical pause, right before you react to a problem, where you actively choose to find a strength to engage with instead. You're basically rewiring your own default response. And this is the principle that makes it all work. You've probably heard this before, but it is so true in parenting. Where your attention goes, the energy flows. So if your attention is on nagging about that messy room, the energy in the house turns negative and defensive. But if you can shift your attention to their creativity or their focus on a project, the energy becomes positive and collaborative. You're building confidence, not conflict. Okay, let's see this in a real-world, super relatable moment. A parent sees their teenager who's been trying to get healthier grab a can of Coke right after coming home from the gym. The old instinct, the weakness focus, is to jump in and criticize. Why would you do that? But this parent decided to flip the switch. They paused, recognized the strength it took to go to the gym in the first place, and chose a response that would connect with their kid instead of starting a fight. This all sounds great, right? But how do you actually spot these strengths, especially when your brain is so good at seeing the flaws? Well, luckily, Dr. Waters gives us a really simple three-part checklist. See, a true strength is more than just something they're good at. First, there's performance. Yeah, they learn it fast and they're good at it. But second, and this is key, is energy. It actually lights them up. It doesn't drain them, it fuels them. And third, there's use. They choose to do it. You don't have to ask, they're just drawn to it in their free time. When you see all three of those things together, bingo, you've found a core strength. And this distinction, this is a total game changer. Think about it. A kid who gets good grades in math, but only after hours of stressful, tear-filled tutoring, that's a learned behavior. Yeah, the performance is high, but it's draining, and they'd avoid it if they could. But a kid who spends hours totally lost in building complex Lego creations, that's a true strength. High performance, totally energizing, and freely chosen. So once you can see the strengths, the real magic begins. You can start to build with them. And this is the most powerful part of the whole idea, using your child's strengths as actual tools to help them navigate life's challenges. This is strength-based problem solving in action. I mean, how cool is this? Instead of just nagging Katie to try harder in science, her parents helped her use her artistic creativity, her core strength, to tackle the subject. By building models of the elements, she literally built a bridge from something she loved to something she found really difficult. And this isn't just about school subjects either. It works for character strengths too. Here, Emmanuel's core strengths, his resilience and determination, were spotted and then called upon to help him face social and physical hurdles. He used his inner grit to overcome an outer challenge. Here's another super powerful tactic: reframing. That behavior that drives you absolutely crazy, it could just be the shadow side of a powerful strength. So, a child you see as a stubborn perfectionist could be reframed as someone with a deep appreciation for beauty and excellence. That one little shift changes everything. Instead of scolding the flaw, you can find a positive outlet for the strength. So, when you put it all together, spotting the strengths, flipping the switch, and reframing the challenges, you end up with a fundamentally different and way more effective parenting playbook. And I want to be really clear about something. This is not about ignoring problems or pretending weaknesses don't exist. It's about changing how we approach them. It's about arming our kids with their best tools, their natural strengths, so they can face those tough challenges with confidence instead of shame. And the research on this shows some amazing outcomes. Kids raised this way aren't just happier, they develop crucial life skills like resilience and self-control. And you know what? Because they feel truly seen for who they are, communication opens up. The conversations become less defensive and a lot more honest. This quote really reframes our whole job as parents, doesn't it? It suggests that maybe our most important job isn't to fix what's broken, but to be the guardians of our children's potential, to see the greatness that's already there and help them bring it out into the world. So, I want to leave you with a question, a little challenge. Forget about the unfinished homework or the messy room, just for a moment. Using those three signs, performance, energy, and use, what is one true strength you can spot? And, more importantly, actually say out loud to your child today?